Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is that time. May I present to you a toast? Yes, The Black Phone 2 has finally come out. The only film in history to, yes, have scared away Mortal Kombat. Guys, this is pretty insane. Mortal Kombat, as you know, is going to release this month, but no longer. Because The Black Phone 2, well, it had to release somewhere. And similar to games fleeing, Grand Theft Auto 6's release, Mortal Kombat had to run from the grabber. Similar to our heroes in this adventure. Am I right, boys and girls? Guys, I just got done watching The Black Phone 2. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, story points. So this starts 3 years after the original. We start off with my boy Finn. He's just beating some punk up, some new kid. Because I guess the new kid was like, you killed the grabber, huh? You a bitch. And he was like, no. So he beats him up. And then, his sister Gwen comes up. She was like, what was that for? And then we get the best character in the whole movie. I think his name was Esteban. And he rolls up and he's like, yo, Gwen, come with me to see Duran Duran. Because it is the 80s. And she was like, oh my gosh, yes. And and then after that, they go home and then they talk. And then eventually, so that night, essentially, Gwen has this dream. Because if you remember from the first one, she has these dreams that are sort of like, well, not really seeing the future. She sees something important related to, I guess, dead people. I'm actually not totally sure if that's how that works. But anyway, the vision is of her mom basically saying like, hello, I'm at this Christian summer camp. A bunch of kids are writing funny numbers in the ice. So, that's interesting. It turns out the numbers led to the mom calling her daughter in the future. And then after that, her and Finny and Eustace, Esteban, whatever his name is, they go to, yes, Finland. No, I'm just kidding. It is the mountains, the icy mountains of wherever they live. They go up there. As soon as she falls asleep again, her dreams are getting crazier than usual. She's getting thrown around. We find out that the grabber, his first 3 victims were killed here. And then essentially the key, the puzzle, the big, what do we do? They got to find the 3 dead bodies from years ago. And then that'll, take away his power. And then, in the meantime, he's kind of messed with everything. Because every time she falls asleep, he can like suddenly blip into existence and start like cutting people. But no one can see him because he's only in like the dream realm or whatever. And then that's all I'm going to get into because, this ain't going to be a spoiler review, except I'm going to get into a little bit of spoilers. So guys, if you don't want that, here's my score. The movie's a 6. Movie's a 6 out of 10. This is a good movie. That's it. Not great, not awesome, not perfect. It is above average. And the reason I say that is because this movie has problems. And whereas I love and adore the first one, again, it has problems. I'd probably give that one like an 8. And this one, while there are some God tier moments and some 10 out of 10 material, there are just too many things where after the movie, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? It's weird, right? Let's get into the positives, the dream sequences. So every time Gwen falls asleep, like I said before, she has these dreams, but they're like kind of in reality. And oh my word, the cinematography with these are so good because it gets like not blurry, but it gets kind of like fuzzy. So you can tell whenever she's like in her dream, and as she slowly comes out of the dream, the picture starts slowly clearing out, and it's a really cool effect. But as she's having these dreams, we have these intense moments with the grabber attacking her. We see a lot of the gore this way with the kids too, by the way. Like these are like little boys, and you see them get sliced and diced. It is intense. I was very surprised until I remember that they kind of do the same thing in the first one. They don't really show it in the first one. They show it in this one. So I was like, yo, that's pretty cool. I mean, you know, you know what I mean. It's cool in a movie sense. And just the way that the grabber interacts. So I thought this was going to be too much of a Freddy Krueger ripoff. And to be honest, it kind of is. Because the whole thing is like he gets you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. You know, so he dives into your dream. But he's kind of like in the vicinity. So for example, Gwen will fall asleep in her bedroom, you know, but then suddenly the grabber will appear like on the ice rink, and he's actually there, and he starts trying to drown someone. And you know, it kind of got me there. I was like, so how does this work? So like, is he always in that realm, or can he only do stuff when she's asleep? Like, I don't know. I would assume it's only when she's asleep, but you would think that would mean that he's like tethered to her in some way, but it doesn't really come across like that. Anyway, the dream sequences are the best part of the film. Now for the negatives. This is an incredibly predictable movie. What you see is what you get. That thing that I mentioned, you know, with these are the grabber's first 3 kills. That's it. That's the movie right there. You know, I mean, they go to this Christian camp and you have all these counselors. You know, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, I was like, oh, yo, this is going to be like a whole cult of killing children or something. Or, oh, shit. Yeah, one of these guys is obsessed with the grabber and it's going to be like a Scream thing. And they're going to be the new grabber. No. He killed the 3 kids. Everyone else there is just like, yeah, someone killed those kids. Shit sucks. Anyway, it's like, well, all right. There's not really any reveals. There's nothing really to spoil. I mean, I guess no one dies. I guess that's a bit of a spoiler. Kind of a sucky spoiler. That kind of goes into my other negative, is there is no point to so many of these characters, dude. Like Gwen, like she has this boyfriend that just kind of tags along, and he's there and he just kind of hangs out, and every now and then Finn is like, Esteban, go find Gwen. And he's like, got it. You know, 20 minutes later, Esteban, quickly, where's Gwen? I'll find her, you know. And there's this hilarious moment where it's not supposed to be hilarious. So at the end, big shocker, the grabber dies. Gwen and Finn, you know, they pin him down. So Gwen can see him, Finn can't. But because literally the skeletons of the children that they find, which yes, weakens the grabber, the skeletons are grabbing onto him. Finn finds out where and this is a great scene. I love this scene because it's one of those dream sequences. You know, Finn's like, oh, there you are. And he can feel him and he starts smashing his head into the ice, even though he can't see a thing. And it's such a cool moment. But the way that it works is Gwen is sort of like separated from her body. So she's like asleep in like a horse chariot on the ice. But her like dream self is over like 20 feet that way fighting the grabber. And then meanwhile, people are getting cut up. People are diving in to the ice cold water to retrieve the wire that fell in. People are almost dying. So I know what you're thinking. What's Esteban doing? He's bored. I kid you not. Esteban is bored. When Gwen comes out of her sleep, Esteban is sitting right next to her. I kid you not. I will reenact this. So, okay, imagine Gwen is right next to me. She's waking up. She's like, we just killed the grabber. This is what Esteban's doing, all right? He's doing this. That's actually what he does. Like, it's insane. It pisses me off so much because this guy had no point at all. He had no purpose. Like, you could have just gotten rid of him. I don't understand. He didn't do anything to help out in the final battle. He sat on his ass the entire time. And then that's it. It's done. He's done. So that's kind of it. And you know, there's other characters that are like that too. Like there's this one chick, she's like a motorcycle biker lady. I suddenly forget her name because she's so forgettable. She has like 2 lines, but again, she's like one of the main people in charge of this camp. Yet she doesn't really do anything. At least nothing memorable. I mean, she makes a couple comments like, so Gwen gets tossed around in the middle of the night. She has burn marks on her arm. So the camp leader is like, tell me about these dreams. And she explains everything to the camp leader. And the camp leader immediately is just like, got it. Makes sense. I've been trying to look for these kids. Oh shit, the grabber. Wait a minute, that guy? He used to work for this camp. Oh shit. What? That's insane. And then, you know, the biker chick will pipe in like, oh, wow, that's pretty crazy. It's like, okay. it's just like, why even bother talking? Why have this character? Then there are these other 2 characters that they're just in charge of like the office, I guess. There's one lady that's like a typical churchgoer woman, Republican chick. And, you know, she's like, you're a harlequin sleeping in the boys' cabin. No, Gwen. And then everyone just calls her a bitch for like the rest of the movie. And like, it's funny, you know, it does create for funny moments, but I just don't understand why she's here. And like literally her forehead gets like sliced open. Her husband's, I think it was her husband that actually got his forehead sliced open. But they're both like sitting on the ice, bleeding. Like like the grabber, when he was invisible in the dream mode, literally takes his ice skates and like slashes them. They're like bleeding everywhere. And by the end of the movie, they're just holding their heads like, ow, oh my, like they have a headache. What? You could just kill someone. You could kill someone. It's not a big deal. But they're so, I don't know. It's just insane how useless like 4 characters were. And that's the thing, like I really liked the main camp counselor. I thought he was a very good character. But like, we don't go into anything with him. He's just like, oh yeah, those murders happened. I couldn't find the boys. So I guess we're starting again. I was waiting for a scene because he was like, yeah, I worked with the guy who was the grabber. And we do see like little bits and pieces. I want to go back in time. I want to be there with the mom while she's at the camp. I want to be there with her while the counselor's there. Maybe the counselor sees something. Maybe the counselor's kind of behind it. You know, maybe we see a little bit more of the grabber, why he started doing this stuff. I don't know. Just something, because I like this guy, but you're giving me nothing. You're giving me nothing with this dude. So it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of frustrating because it's like, again, I know I'm harping on this a lot. I like this movie. This is an above average movie. I liked it, okay? It's just frustrating when you have the DNA of a God tier story, but you're focusing on the wrong parts of the strand. Why are we focusing on the stupid boyfriend when there's a camp counselor with a traumatic past right here? What about this guy? Like, there's this whole murder mystery about this camp, and we're just gonna ignore him? What the hell? And there's also another point where the grabber's like drowning the camp counselor, and he's like under the water and he stops moving. But then Gwen's like, oh no, he's drowning. And then they go out there to get him, and he's already half out of the ice, which, you know, that didn't make any sense. But yeah, hot damn. Other than that, guys, again, it's a good movie. I swear it's a great movie. I liked it. But it's just, there's so much focus on the boring stuff. I don't care that the boyfriend wants to go see Duran Duran with her. I don't care about the father coming up to the mountain and like, so, you know, just being like, we gotta go. And it's just like a 5-minute wasted scene where he's like, we gotta go, and they're like, no, and then he's just like, okay. You know? Man, I know I'm gonna hate myself for this, but I really think I feel like I should give it a 4, because a 4 is below average. But again, the DNA is there, the characters are there, the good ones, and like the dream sequences are awesome. The gore is intense. I love the grabber, just the character. I love all that. So again, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10, because guys, it's just above average. This could have easily been a 9. I don't know about a 10, but a 9, because I love so much of this film, but so much holds it back in terms of just focusing on the wrong stuff. But guys, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Next week, I completely forget what we have. But anyway, check me out next week for more. Oh, we have Chainsaw Man. Yeah, I'm pumped for that one. So guys, sub if you want to see that one. Sub if you like this one. Like, share, do all that fun stuff. I love doing all this. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.